Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage podcast, episode 265. I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Zelinsky. Hello.
Hey, here I am.
And Jenny, you're back this week.
Hi,
Hi,
I am.
welcome.
Not for long.
She's here for a week,
Well,
and then she's going back to...
Have fun with Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, and the only reason why I have a Saturday off is because I'm flying in a couple of hours.
On a jet plane.
Yeah, which
Don't know if I'll be back again.
yeah, I have to take. I was on the phone with my sister trying to figure out when I'm gonna be going places because my parents asked my fiance to bring them to the airport, but they don't have room in their car for me.
I agreed, because I assumed Jan was coming with, and I'm just driving 4 randos.
What the? Okay.
Yep. So
That is
I'm
an A+.
getting right. So I'm going to the airport with my sister, and now she is going to be in charge of babysitting me after I take my anti-anxiety meds because my brain turns to sludge.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
That's
see that
why-
on air travel. I mean, there's been times where, especially the last couple of years, but anyway.
Imagine having to manage yourself. Like I used to have to travel by myself
Yeah.
while taking these meds. I don't know how I made it to my destination in one piece.
It's amazing what the human body can put up with for a short period of time.
Yeah.
It's
just
like,
like-
wow, okay. I'm surprised I'm not dead.
Well, I'm going to be drinking a Shell's Oktoberfest Mazen style Fest beer.
Those are pretty good.
I'm a big fan of Shell's because
Yeah.
I like them as a company. They're fighting with the state of Minnesota about our ridiculous brewing laws and how Shell's is technically by 1,000 barrels too big.
Oh, is this the Castle Danger thing too?
Yeah, Castle Danger's right there too. Castle Danger and Shell's are both about 1,000 barrels over the state legal limit for being considered a microbrewery.
Didn't this finally get changed?
They're fighting with it. The Republicans decided that they wanted to fight about it.
But like recently, I just started seeing Castle Danger like crawlers again in the cities, and I really thought like something had finally changed.
Oh, so the thing is, yes, now they can sell them in different sizes. However, they cannot sell them at the brewery itself. They have to have a building across the street.
Awesome! That sounds really efficient and good.
Yeah, it's really stupid. And so, yeah, they got everything through most of the way. And then at the 11th hour, a bunch of Republican senators that like were on their side decided to 180 because I don't know, the Koch brothers probably got pissed about it or something. I don't know.
Checks out.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Shell's is just trying to make the world a better place, and they make great beer. So here I go, trying to open this up with my bottle opener.
That was the closest Oktoberfest to the checkout when I went to Total Wine a couple weeks ago. But I've had a couple, and it's tremendous. While Ryan's sampling that, I have the Last Northeast,
Real good.
and it's good. It's Northeast.
Yeah.
I also have water because recovering. It was my
Yes.
birthday yesterday, and I got fed a lot of cake and Capri Sun. Not a lot of booze,
That's
which
good.
was great. I
That's
actually
real
had a
good.
fantastic morning, but
It's just a dietary recovery.
yeah, which is not what I'm used to.
We went to Moscow on the Hill.
Yes,
Super
that
good.
phenomenal laptop.
They have it was like a laptop from when we were in high school.
Yes,
That's like running their entire
the
hostess.
reservation
Yeah.
system.
So we just had their appetizers,
Yeah.
and it was like $40, including a martini, or
Nice.
not a martini, a White Russian.
Very good. The
yes.
dude abides.
But yeah, no, we had borscht, and we had basically a bunch of various Eastern European styles of empanadas and latkes, and it was fantastic. 10 out of 10.
They really like dill.
Yeah, well, it's Eastern Europe, so dill.
I'm not
I
a fan
do
of dill.
too in some capacities, but others I really don't like it. If it's
I
overdone, like a little bit on, like dill pickles are great on things.
Well,
but,
what I like about their dill is that it's on the sauce, so you can like eat stuff without the dill.
Oh, so it's like cilantro to Chipotle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They did have a lamb empanada where the lamb was mixed in with dill, and I just gave that to Ryan because I was like,
Lamb I really like with mint jelly.
It worked really well.
Okay.
It did, if you
Janice,
like dill,
Janice
it was,
totally hates dill.
That's all right.
Like, it was really good flavor combination. I just don't like dill.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's like when I go to Amazing Thailand or any other Thai restaurant, really. I mean, it's just like, I
You're like, "This is
understand that this
great
is tremendous
food."
food, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just
Understandable.
some combination. So
It's very rare to find a good Thai restaurant in the state of Minnesota. Like, it took us years to find a good one.
I know you mentioned you had found one.
Yeah,
but-
Thai Garden was really good.
Yeah.
But we actually watched Hocus Pocus 2 last night.
The Disney Plus exclusive,
It is as good as the original Hocus Pocus.
which I thought was okay.
But I mean, like, everybody's all like gung ho for the original.
My
But-
main issue with it is it's not available on Laserdisc, and the original is.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
And that was an expensive Laserdisc. I bought that by request, and it
Yeah,
It
people
was
want it.
pricey.
If you ever find The Never-Ending Story on Laserdisc, I'm looking for that one.
Okay, I usually search specifically by movie, but yeah,
Blue
it probably
Hawaii is a good
exists.
movie, too.
Blue Hawaii.
Yeah,
Blue
it's
Hawaii.
a
It's an
Elvis
Elvis
movie.
Presley movie. It's so good. It's so awful. It's so good.
I was gonna say that.
It's so bad it's
so Bollywood, like not
it's-
Bollywood,
yeah.
but B movie. You know.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean,
pretty much
no.
is a Bollywood
it's
movie.
Bollywood movies are very similar in style to how that movie is. Where it's
Okay.
just
It's so good.
like there's just like he's happens to be a musician, and that's why there's singing bits in it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's-
it's like
I gotta work this in somehow.
it is basically the movie is it is a medium, so you can have shirtless Elvis Presley driving an MG.
I kind of figured
that
they,
is-
they started with a conclusion and they worked through their way to the beginning.
They're like,
Oh, yeah.
what is this movie for? This
And
feature. Okay, how
it's
are we
the-
gonna work this in?
It's the best movie to
We got
drink
it.
like mid-century tiki rum drinks
Excellent.
and just enjoy.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's a very very good movie. And it's
You
like
have to
it's,
have alcohol to enjoy it though.
the Laserdisc is $9.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you're fine.
They're either 10 or they're 50. It's
Yeah.
like there's
it's a cheap Laserdisc. Nobody really wants it, and it's such a wacky like it's so bad. It's literally so bad. It's good. Yeah.
we were just talking about the Fabulous Night with Beverly Loughlin,
Yeah.
that Aubrey Plaza movie. She wasn't the main character, I guess, but it was so weird. But yeah, it reminded me of a Wes Anderson movie, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know
I
really what I
really love
saw,
that.
and like it's normal, but it's really not. And like I don't know what decade it's set in. When I saw that Corolla at the gas
Yeah.
station, I'm like, this is like a '94 or
Yeah.
newer, and it's got damage. So this thing's at least a year old.
Yeah. So
I'm like, so it's at least '95. But they had that Corolla wagon that was super cool, and I'm just like,
the
don't.
storyline of the movie is just wacky.
It's-
This waitress leaves her husband to go to a hotel to find a Scottish folk singer who's touring the countryside and falls in love with him. That's the story.
Well, they were already in love in a past
Yeah.
life.
Yes, it's amazing.
It's so weird.
but you
so
don't really
wacky.
know for sure. Like it's
Oh, and it had Jermaine.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
It's Craig Robinson. It's Matt Berry, Aubrey Plaza, and I can't remember who there's some other people in it, but like those are the three lead characters. It's like totally star-studded, and it's just like
It's such a weird movie.
Aubrey Plaza does all these movies where she just like wants to do them,
Yeah.
and that's
They're
how
fantastic.
and they're great. They're better for it because she just does wacky movies.
Yeah.
that you,
Also,
like, yeah.
she is
And the outfits in that movie.
mega primo.
Yeah, the outfits are amazing. Like Craig Robinson wearing a kilt. It's just amazing.
Anyway, I don't mean to dwell on that movie too much, but it's worth a watch if you like Aubrey Plaza. Before we get into topics, patreon.com/Carbitrage. On this super cool handcrafted website, you will find 3 open-ended levels of support, starting at $1 a month, that help us pay hosting costs and provide beer for our mouth holes. Patreon.com/Carbitrage.
All right.
Anyway,
well,
Ryan, you've got the
I do.
first one today.
so there's a huge event called the Haltech Nationals. There's coming up. It's a big drag racing thing, and in preparation for it, there's been like a lot of research on like the fastest Hondas in the world. So the Honda Center, which is Instagram, that's just like covers Honda drag racing. They released the top 10 fastest front-wheel drive Hondas in the world.
Good God.
And I'm looking at this list, and there's a few takeaways here. First off, of the 10 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are Puerto Rican. And then the other 2 are other various Caribbean, South American, or Mesoamerican countries. And 2 of them are United States Americans, and actually one of those United States Americans is a Puerto Rican American team, which is like even better.
Just out of convenience and
It's
location.
like Puerto Ricans that are like from New York, as
Okay.
opposed to like island Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, we sort of left physically, but not really.
And another really interesting takeaway is of the 10 spots, only one of them is running a K series.
I saw that.
The rest of them are B series,
Yeah,
which
it's-
is wild. And if you're wondering, if you're thinking, wow, fastest front wheel drive Hondas in the world, you're thinking like these must be like 10-second cars or something. No. And you're like, okay, maybe they're like 9-second or 8-second. No. The slowest car on the list runs a 792.
Yeah.
at 192 miles an hour. It's also interesting that none of these are in the 200 mile an hour club.
Yeah, and there's one in there that's only trapping 186.
Yeah, that's insane because that means that's all front end. So that's a really, really, really good launch.
Yeah.
Because it used to be when you'd see these Hondas, you'd see them run like a 8-second quarter mile at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But
they're just back halfing it. Yeah.
you back half like crazy. But these are like, no, they're getting out of the hole quickly. And so that's why I think it's really interesting. The fastest in the world right now, I'm sure everybody's wondering, is 7.693 seconds at 188 miles per hour.
His front-wheel drive car.
Yeah, and his fastest mile per hour speed was actually 199, so just shy of the 200 mile an hour range.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little bit more boost.
Yeah, but still, that's really, really, really cool. I think it's just really, really interesting, because beyond like the whole, Hondas are slow, Hondas are this, Hondas are that. I just think like the amount of effort it takes to make a fuel miser do some wacky stuff like that is just crazy. And I've been like doing like a lot of like introspection on like how I view cars and what I'm interested in, because as we know, I've been getting more into hot rods and stuff in like the last like couple of years.
We have noticed that.
I've noticed that the reason I like hot rods is the same reason I like Hondas, and that's why I was never super jazzed on like the import like supercar or import muscle cars like Supras and stuff like that. Like they're cool and stuff, but like, I never like, as much as I love Cressidas, as much as I love, NSXs and everything, none of them really captured me the same way that front wheel drive Hondas did. And like, I also have like an inordinate hatred for the S2000. I think this is part of it. But
all
like,
things we've discussed recently, in fact.
Yeah, and it's like it's doing the stuff with Hondas is very similar to like how people like went fast with hot rods like in the 50s. It's a lot of the same thing, because going fast with a muscle car is different than going fast with a hot rod, because the hot rod you get to build the whole thing from the ground up. Muscle car, it's like kind of just there for you.
Yeah, there's no platform there for you for this.
Yeah, like the muscle car, or like the Supra, you're just like, okay, here's a larger turbocharger and some fuel injectors, and now I just need to work on my driving. This one's like, okay, I need to get this engine out of this car, put it into this chassis, do all this crap to this chassis. Like, yeah, it's more effort, but like,
need the head off of this one, need the cams out of that.
It's more effort, but it's like I'm way more interested in that. I just think it's much more fascinating, because like it's just.
And the combination's fascinating too. I mean, like a lot of these are running like billet 4-speed transmissions now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where like these didn't exist. 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, like they're like purpose made, like machined like transmission housings.
Yeah. But like and that was, I think, to my understanding, that was one of the biggest things. Like the transmissions just couldn't take it.
Yeah, that was a part of it. It was the transmissions and also the suspension. There's a lot of dialing in the suspension, because the tire technology has been there, and there was like a period of time where the tire technology was caught up, but nothing else was. So you'd break everything. You'd be able to take all the power and everything to break, and then they were able to get the power down onto the tires, but then the suspension couldn't handle it, and then you just sit there and you just like bounce the front end off the ground.
Wheel hop is no one's friend.
Yeah, exactly. So like figuring out how to like make, God
goodness
damn it,
sake.
another fucking
It's a bee.
But
I thought they'd all be dead because we had
no,
a
it's
freeze.
not a bee. Anyway.
I could hear that in the microphone.
Gotta wait for him to.
Brief hiatus while the bee flies around.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's not a bee. It's a wasp.
Not really.
It's not actually a honeybee.
It didn't look like a wasp.
It smells fear.
Oh, no.
Oh, there he is.
Well, this is very good.
Anyway.
It's about me now. It's fine.
What was I gonna say?
The suspension, wheel hop.
Oh yes, yeah. So now we finally be able to like work out the suspension and everything. You actually have these cars like making these huge gains in speed, which I think is just fascinating. And also, a lot of these Hondas are still faster than like the overwhelming majority of Supras.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that at TX2K. Like the number of cars that were even running mid-8s.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Even GTRs, like those were having trouble breaking into the 7s.
Yeah, and like I mean, like when you get them like going, like yeah, they're great. You know, like also yeah,
Sure.
like sure, I guess you're technically right. Like
But these are still running like 1.8 liter B series engines. Like they're
yeah,
they're
that's kind of the thing. Like this is like like building this is like I don't know, it's like going fast with like a Ford Y block or something,
Right.
As opposed to like
It's just cool.
yeah, as opposed to having this like purpose built like Hemi. Like now you have this like it's effectively an engine that you can still find in a junkyard, and you just made it cool and fast. So
Well, I mean, the B and the K kind of apply to that too. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not special engines in that sense.
Exactly.
Like, there
Yeah.
are billions of these damn things.
yeah,
Well,
no,
maybe not billions, but hundreds of millions.
yeah, there's hundreds of millions for sure. And yeah, I just think they're absolutely fascinating. I love them. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the news that comes out of this. I'm not going to watch all of it because I'm me, but I will absolutely be interested in the news that comes out of the Haltech World Cup.
It is even
World
more
Finals.
fascinating than the all-wheel drive because there's EGs,
Yeah.
EG, right? That run like the all-wheel drive setups, and like those are in the mid-6s.
Yes.
But the front-wheel drive one, like I feel like there's more finesse to it, and
There's-
therefore it's more interesting.
Another thing that's also interesting about this is all these cars are actually street legal-ish.
Right. Other than like the 1 gallon fuel cell, you could potentially use it.
Yeah, like they're not like tube chassis or anything. They're
Right.
not front half.
They're just
like,
gutted.
Yeah, they're like like it's effectively a car. Like you could bring this car back to stock
Yeah.
without a problem.
Yeah.
like you can just
Like, no
throw the
cutting, right?
Yeah, you can throw the headlights on. You can throw an interior in it.
Take off your fiberglass one-piece front clip, put
yeah,
the fenders
put
back
on
on
your
it.
fenders and your front bumper and your hood.
Yep.
And you're good.
Yep.
You now have effectively a car.
Well, I mean, if you didn't care about your ETs too, like you could leave the powertrain as is, put a bigger fuel cell in it, and
Yeah.
then drive it. To your
Yeah.
point, so yeah,
Exactly. Like I think that's really cool because also another thing is with a lot of these super fast GTRs and Supras and stuff, they're also like front half and so, like they did a bunch of ridiculous
Right.
work.
Also, the car's ruined.
Yeah, like
So-
the car's like totally turbo fucked. It's everything back to normal. Like this one's like it's an EG, nobody cares. Like
Correct.
Put an interior in it.
However, yeah, how many on that list were EGs? It was most of them.
There was an EK hatch, and EK coupe, whatever the EJ8, whatever. Yeah, so there's like 2 EKs, and then the rest are EG chassis, like 5th generation. So
When I think of fast Honda, that's what I think.
it's
so
an EG.
yeah,
That's exactly it. But yeah, very interesting, very fun, very cool.
Haltech is Australian. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
They are.
Is that series is it global or is it just in one country?
It takes place to Englishtown, New Jersey.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Okay, so people like us have a problem with cars. We
Yes.
have too many cars. We find cars that we want, like that Mini Bronco 2 we found a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
The problem is always storage. And in the case of us, we live in a very densely populated part of St. Paul.
Yes,
Where
so you can
you're
only go
kind of
up.
limited by footprints.
Yeah, you can only go up.
I think I have found a solution.
And what is your solution?
So Carvana,
Yes, I've always considered
Oh.
selling my Fiat to them.
because they constantly contact you, which
Yeah.
is something they're known for. And during the pandemic peak years of 2020 and 2021, they were doing really, really well because that was the only way people felt comfortable buying and selling cars.
My
Yep.
mother bought one from a vending machine.
And that's kind of where I'm getting at with this story. Right now, Carvana is in serious legal problems and financial
yes.
problems because nobody's buying their stuff, and they are a huge proponent of those robocalls and spam.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, you just go get one of these foreclosed car elevator thingies,
Yeah.
have it moved somehow to your house, and then problem solved, because this is going to be pennies on the dollar.
Because they've
Yep.
also been selling cars and not giving the owners the new title.
Correct. There's
Oh,
been a
that's
lot.
cursed.
Yo, yeah.
Oh,
We-
there's
we
been
found
so
a lot
much,
of issues with
Like
that.
they've
Remember
like,
last year
people-
we talked about them selling stolen cars?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stolen cars.
Yeah.
They don't always issue the license plates. Like they've done everything wrong.
Yikes.
But
And I
as
don't know how
far as
they're
I
like
know,
continue to exist.
the vending machines do function because they're built by a non-Carvana company. So
Yeah.
you can fit several cars in there, and you can look at them. I'm guessing your paint will fade pretty substantially if you have single-stage paint. Or the UV
No,
coated glass.
you just need to tint the glass. You can get UV tint.
Oh, that'll be perfect. This
you
is
can
the
actually
ideal
get
garage.
clear UV tint, which I think is even cooler.
I need to get that on the windshield of most of my cars.
I'm going to be doing that with the Buick. Yeah. Just because I hate tinted windows on most cars.
Yeah.
Like my van's the only thing that's getting tinted. Everything else, like, give me a visual.
Sure.
And I'm going to do clear UV tint on all of them because it looks great.
Is it like clear, or is it like 85%
It is
translucent?
clear.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Very
It
good.
is slightly, like if you hold up the clear UV tint to like untinted,
Yeah.
it's slightly blurrier to look through.
Sure.
So like if you're like looking down the block, like a stop sign won't be as clear.
But it's a color rendering index more than it is obstruction of light.
It's just, well, I think it's just blurry because you have a film. That's
I
the thing.
see.
Yeah, it's just the medium that you have to look
How
through.
dare you?
Yeah, it's just by basis of there's a film in your way. Yeah.
Sorry, my
But yeah,
That's
no, that'd
fair.
actually be brilliant. How many cars do you think they'll sold?
I would say
This
20.
one looks like, five on each side, so 5, 10, 15, 20?
Yeah.
20. Okay. Yeah,
And I assume you could detach it from the garbage building on the bottom, too, so yeah.
yeah
So
that'd be
we
great.
just stick that on top of our garage and call it good.
Well, I
to
think
go?
you just replace your garage with this, and then you just scrape off the Carvana lettering on the top, or leave it, whatever. But, like, I see these. They
I
exist.
feel like scraping off the Carvana lettering would be like removing the e-machines and never obsolete sticker off their computers.
Fine,
from, like,
we
the
leave the
2000s.
Carvana sticker
Yeah,
on.
You need
or-
to leave that on there. That's a
not
failed
sticker.
Yeah.
Wow, the people driving that C8 were older than sand.
Yeah, no, they look like they like went to school as Zora Arkastuntov. like,
I have to support him while he's gone, but well, his car
he
is
was
not.
a friend of mine when I was in high school, and I needed to support him. I had a art on flathead.
I'm a General Motors boy.
I fought in World War One.
I remember being loyal to a company that doesn't care about me too. It was great.
I've decided
I'm
I'm going
not-
to put a Jimmy Carter sticker on my Buick.
Do it. I liked having the Bill Clinton sticker on my A34.
I don't think I've ever been super loyal to any brand. The closest I was the Honda, and that was just specifically for cars.
I'm
Yeah,
loyal
no,
to well-engineered
I've
product.
never been brand loyal to anything, because, yeah, every time I've like even considered it, like they've done some like horrendous shit, or they were terrible in the past.
Yep.
Like I'm like, as much as I like Fuji Heavy Industries, I can't be loyal to them.
No. There are many reasons.
Mazda, I guess I could be a little bit.
All right, but they got that Ford Interlink and all that other junk.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like, well,
it was more Toyo Kyogo I was thinking
I'm
of.
pretty loyal to Toyota, but
Toyota was actually okay.
they
but
did
I
have a
will
couple
do
eras.
They
others.
weren't around during World War II, so.
Well, there you go.
Also, Honda wasn't, but Honda did stupid shit after that. Toyota does keep it in the family. Or I guess I could be almost brand loyal to Toyota.
I mean, I recommend them fairly often. Corey's coworker, the one that took the Mazda back, finally found an XSE manual.
Perfect. Yeah, that's
Got
what they
it.
did. Yeah.
Yep. So
Are they
that's
happy?
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
That's the car they should buy.
They apparently found it listed for sale with like an insane dealer market adjustment. So
Yeah.
he's like, "You just sell it to me for this on trade, and then you can sell my Civic for whatever you want." And they're like, "Okay." So then they just took the Civic in and marked that up like crazy instead. So
Done.
I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, great. As long as you ended up with the XSE manual, I'm fine."
Yeah, and happy camper.
So anyway, that car is fantastic. And if you guys need a good daily and don't want an electric vehicle, go get a Corolla XSE hatch with a manual.
Also, imagine wanting a good daily that's not an electric vehicle.
I know, and it's getting harder and harder to recommend that kind of stuff. But right now we're, well, this is a topic later in the episode too, where I do want to talk about charging infrastructure and like what that actually means for somebody
Yes.
getting into an EV. But well,
In the meantime,
Yeah.
what are words for? Because no one listens anymore.
correct.
And GM just names don't have meaning.
Nope.
And so, all right, the Chevy Trax. What is a Chevy Trax?
It is it's a Sonic based, so like an
It's
A segment
yeah.
micro car that they like pumped up with a bike pump
Yeah, it's a
to look
it's
like a
small
mini crossover.
Daewoo shitbox small crossover thing.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
the smallest form factor they could possibly fit. Like
Comes
a
with a
crossover
manual,
shape.
but the manual's front wheel drive only.
I didn't even know you could get that with a stick.
When Randy Stern test drove one when they
Yeah.
first came out,
Yeah.
that was my first question.
Huh.
And he goes, yes. And I go, that's cool. I'm like, can you get it with all-wheel drive? And he goes, I don't know. And I looked it up, and you couldn't.
Oh, I mean that's kind of been the case with the CX-5 and 3 and all that kind of stuff too. But
Yeah, but I mean, still. Anyway, yeah, it was like a small, shitty truck. Well, now it is larger than a Trailblazer for the next generation because
So-
words don't matter.
right now, Chevy's got the Trailblazer, the Trax, the Blazer, the Equinox, the Traverse, like
You have 5 different crossovers.
that all look exactly the same. That they're the same size.
Yep. I don't get it. I don't know what's different between them.
Especially, I mean, the Traverse I get is a 3-row, but like everything else is just a 2-row useless
Well, not only that, like they're competing against each other now for market share because
they're cannibalizing each other's sales. It's the stupidest thing.
It's so stupid.
I
But also, like,
I want to know why.
what happens when somebody lives in the city and feels the need to have a truck?
Well, they go to Mexico, they get dual citizenship, and then they order the Ram 300 or whatever.
I guess, but I mean, like, like, or they stay here and they go buy a CX-3.
Yes.
Or
True.
they go buy a Ford. But it's not the EcoSport. They killed that one.
The EcoSport's gone. What is their? Well, it's not the Maverick. That's a pickup. What is their smallest? The Escape?
I guess, yeah, the Escape or Bronco Sport. Yeah, they buy that.
Is the Bronco Sport bigger or smaller than the Escape?
I don't care.
Okay. I like that you stopped between no and care. Like, I don't care.
Or they go buy a Mitsubishi of sorts. I don't know. Like, it doesn't mean, like, this is stupid now.
Well, it's just not small anymore either.
Like the only thing that had going for it is that it was small. And it was cheap.
Is the Buick version, I forget what they even called that thing, is that also going to this
Probably.
platform? The big, stupid
I assume.
thing? Okay, so I really don't like micro crossovers, but to your point, at least they're small.
Yeah.
And, like, they're so small that the frontal area is actually, they get reasonable efficiency. So, like, okay, if you're
my
going to
sister
get
has one.
one, just...
No, she doesn't. She's got HRV, I guess, yeah.
Okay, the new HRV is so melty. It's
bad.
It fits her.
Sorry.
She went to Carlson Business School. She works at Target Corporate.
It's very bland. Got
She
it.
has 2 beige dogs.
Oh my god. This person is vanilla paste.
And she's Korean, so it's funny.
So
It's very
she's
funny
not
because
vanilla paste.
no,
She's-
it's super funny because like you look at you see a list of Jana's personality traits.
Yeah.
And you see a list of Julie's personality traits. And then you just
You're
look
giving
at
a photo of both of us?
of both of them. You have to match the photo to the person. You would totally 180 it.
Guess
Like,
who? You would get not correct answers.
Exactly. And then my favorite part about Jana's sister is that like so she's like clearly just like capitalist, like girl boss, like doing her thing.
Sure.
And she's like bought a house with her boyfriend who's a like not socialist, communist chemist.
It's amazing.
He's so cool.
I love them both so much.
Like she's so vanilla and he's just like
I guess
pierogies and
compensating.
vodka.
Right?
He's just wild. I love
It's
him.
great. He listened to a podcast about Korean politics and tried to mansplain Korean politics to her.
It wasn't mansplaining because I saw what he was saying. He was just very excitedly telling her
Okay.
about what he had just learned,
Okay.
assuming that she didn't know. And she's like, I know. He's like, I know you know, but I need to continue telling this because I'm very excited and need to tell
They
someone.
got it into a little tiff about it because my sister's like, I was at the DMZ at 2 years old. I think I know a little bit about Korean
Right.
politics.
I'm like, I understand that in hindsight, and to somebody that wasn't there, this is fascinating, but also
Yeah.
you're kind of opening old wounds, so maybe stop for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we were both raised very aware of the political situation in Korea because we've got some really close family friends that
Yeah.
escaped Korea. So it's like,
Also, her dad's Hank Hill, so he's like very capitalist. So I absolutely love the existence of Patrick and being the way he is, and he's like the
I
most
can't even
successful
imagine those
person in the-
interactions.
he's like the most successful person in the entire family, and he's a communist. It's amazing.
So he has no grounds to hate on him.
Yeah, like,
No.
like everybody can talk all the shit they want, and it's like, okay, well, you have your cousins who are workaholics and they basically subsist off their mother, or you have your daughters, one of which went to Carlson Business School and she's actually doing just fine, or your other daughter that's Jana and she's doing just fine given the
and
circumstances,
my 5 other sisters.
and then like all the other like
I gaggled.
capitalist sisters, like the ones that are like. The more liberal sisters are the ones that are more successful than the ones that followed down the dad's path more. It's
Interesting.
very amazing.
Strange.
Oh no, all
I
my
can't
sisters
put two and
are
two together
extremely
there.
liberal.
Not all of them.
Yeah, all
Huh.
of them
That's interesting.
except for Carrie. But
Well,
Carrie's
you
not
also have the
related
one
to
that
my
lives in
father.
Iowa, though.
She is so liberal. She stopped talking to my father.
I guess I had just assumed that she was conservative because she chose to live in Mike Huckabee's state.
No, she just runs the Ames, Iowa public relations for the library system.
That's why I assumed. Okay.
Ah.
Anyway, but yeah, so
Yeah, so words don't matter to
yeah,
Chevy.
words don't matter.
They're
Chevy.
like, why would you do this? Like, well, we have this name trademarked.
Yeah, literally.
There you go. That's it.
But they have other ones. So I'm thinking, all right, this is a mid-sized crossover.
Yeah, so
it
what
doesn't
should they have
really
called this?
make any sense. I guess it's a little bit cheaper than what the Blazer
It better
would
be. But like, is the Blazer bigger than the Trailblazer? I don't know.
I don't know.
Why do they have both?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a good name that they could have
And
given
the
this.
Equinox too. It's just.
I mean, they could have called it a Captiva.
Yeah, that was a Chevy product.
Yeah, that was a shitty mid-size Chevy, a Captiva. And you know what?
It was a Captiva import.
Yes, it was. And also,
Saturn View.
if you go back to Chrysler, naming things.
It's not my phone, I don't think.
What is that hissing?
It's
It's jamming.
GSM interference. Okay.
Sorry.
But that fucking. Oh, sorry.
I know. I lose my train of thought really easily.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Jan. What was shit? What was I saying?
It's the
oh yes.
Yeah,
No, we were having to listen to that, and now I've just ruined the whole fucking podcast. God damn
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm
other
just trying to
names
get
that we can name the
It doesn't
tracks.
Pass.
But
Yeah,
yes, naming conventions.
Yes.
So Chrysler's proven that you can name things off after like shitty mid 2000s crossovers very successfully because they did that with the Pacifica.
Yeah. Yes.
Similarly, names don't fucking matter.
Correct, because the new Pacifica is actually good.
Well, I think the thing that's brilliant about it is it's a good name. Mm-hmm. And the old one was so meh and terrible, nobody remembered. Nobody remembers the Captiva at all.
It's because you see one, and you're
You
like,
have
oh,
not-
that's a second-gen Saturn View, which
You've
it is.
not thought of the Captiva until now.
Sure I
Like
have.
literally, no. I'm like just a listener.
Correct.
I guarantee you've not thought of
Most
one
of
until
them
now.
probably don't even know that it existed.
You're probably Googling it if you're not driving, or you are when you're driving. You own a Tesla, and you can just do
Or
some stuff like that.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, but like you're looking it up, and now you're looking at this weird Daewoo thing that
Now
came
open
in,
a new
like,
tab, and then
Yeah.
open second-generation Saturn View. You're welcome.
They're very different looking.
No, they are
actually.
identical vehicle. It is the exact same car. Same lights, same everything. It is the same vehicle.
Oh yeah, no, it's actually the exact same.
It is
vehicle,
the
yep.
exact same vehicle. I just want to say that Saturn went out of business and they just had a production line that they needed to amortize. So they're like, just put some Chevy badges on this and call it the
Oh,
Cap.
Oh,
Saturn.
actually, the Captiva has a wildly interesting, very cursed reason for existing. It was similar to the Trax, actually. This is actually why I would actually name it the Captiva.
Okay.
Because the Trax was designed by Daewoo to be a crossover for South Korea.
Okay.
And they just brought it to America. And that's exactly what they did with the Captiva, except instead of having the mandate be for South Korea, they gave the mandate of South Korean Daewoo designers designing a truck for America, a country in which they've never been to.
America's not a country.
United States of America.
Thank you.
But a bunch of people in South Korea that worked for Daewoo, a
Yeah.
company
No, I
that
agree.
was known for doing quality last.
If at all, if there's time,
Yeah.
last.
Like, quality was last. And they're like, we need you to design a truck for America. And they're like, they had to Google where the United States was. Like, what do people drive here? What do roads look like? They're like on Google Maps. Like,
No. What they
looking
did
at
is they went on GeoGuessr.
Yeah, I went on GeoGuessr, and it's like they ended up designing something that was actually really great for like Bulgaria, but like nowhere else in the world. But yeah, this would be a really good second generation Captiva.
Yes, I agree. This should be called the Captiva.
This should be called the Captiva.
We will
That'd be a much
henceforth
better
refer
name.
to the second-gen Trax as the Captiva.
Yep, there we go.
All right. Oh, sorry, I had the notes not pulled up there.
Amazing stuff
All right, what have I got next?
going on in the car world.
Oh, man. I hate doing this to all of you guys, but I have to.
Let me
So-
guess, is there another great European EV that I want badly and can't get because America's stupid and everything
Yes.
needs to be the size of a Model S?
Yes. So there's another adorable, like French level cute, teeny tiny, bright yellow EV with a cute face.
Not bright yellow.
That we probably won't. I haven't confirmed we're not getting it, but it's a 30.4 kilowatt hour micro car EV that is adorable, and it's got these like buttressed, like super
It
bulldog
literally
stance
looks
wheels.
Like, Mike Wazowski's cousin.
Look at this
does.
little guy.
Oh my god, it comes in lavender.
It looks like a second gen Twingo that just like is sucking its gut in to try to look more.
Who makes this?
It's called the E-Wave. I don't know. E-Wave
It's
X.
got two big feet. It's oh my goodness.
His feet are too big. He's a good color.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't grow into his body yet. It's like a
It
kitten
looks
with
like
big mittens.
It looks
Yeah.
like the dinosaur from the Wiggles.
I haven't
Yes, it
seen
does,
that,
yeah.
but
Or Littlefoot.
So Ego
It looks like it looks like a turret.
It's made by Ego. Yeah, it's called the E-Wave X. But yeah, like I said, it's over 30 kilowatt hours, and this thing can do. It's pretty good range. Look how chunky the wheel stands. Look at this. It's just I love it. Seriously, the stance reminds me of like a Renault Clio V6.
Dorothy the dinosaur.
Yeah, that is Dorothy. Yes, with fog lights. Dorothy the dinosaur with fog lights.
Yeah, this camera facing us is facing
My butt.
Oh,
Jana's head.
I'm sorry. Oh, the glass window for the case fell. That's what bumped it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, video viewers, if there are any of you.
I'm just trying to. So it's made by a company.
Ego.
So Next Ego Mobile SE.
Look at this.
I'm looking up who this
It's
company.
even an aluminum frame. I could drive this in the winter and it's not going to rust.
Oh.
And did I mention it's also rear-wheel drive? Like the Honda E?
That's really
So
great.
they're really just trying to stab us in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, exactly. Like, hey, but doesn't it look French? Like all the design
looks
language?
So
It's-
good.
it's
it
German.
comes in hyper.
It is German. Yes, that's correct.
Green/yellow.
I think I put that in the notes. I just forgot to
and
say it.
lavender.
I'm just looking
They
at.
need to sell it in the States. Every Gen Zer would buy it, and
Yeah.
millennial.
Look at this. It's
We
a
would
rear-wheel drive.
solve
little
the
head.
gas crisis if America just brought
I want to
this-
see the front cargo area because what I really like is that front cargo area, since there's no engine, it's just gonna be a massive frunk.
Well, I mean, okay, so there's the frame cutaway right there.
Yeah, I
and
know. Well,
it's-
that's what I'm saying. Is that front end's gonna be just a massive frunk.
Probably. I mean, it's going to have an inverter in it, but still. Well,
It
maybe not.
comes
That'll probably be in the back.
Hyper green and lavender.
I'm going to click on this on mute.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll show us the.
Because there's
frunk.
there's not much space in the back behind the seats. This is
I just
great.
want. Somebody needs to bring us damn decent ranged micro EV, preferably with rear wheel drive. Honda E. Or the
Oh,
new
okay.
Fiat 500e. Or this. Excuse me. Look at those seats. Ooh, ah.
America needs to get over the I need a big vehicle problem.
I think we are because every single Gen Z or millennial that I know that lives in the city laments owning a car.
Yeah.
Like they absolutely hate it.
I
And
see
they're like-
those Chevy Bolt, or Bolt, I mean.
Yeah.
What are those called? Hour? No.
Yeah, the hour
Hour
cars,
cars.
yeah. EV hour car.
It's
I know what you're
but you
talking
know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's an
there's
hour car.
rideshare cars all over, and like I see those in use constantly.
Yeah, and a lot of people because that's the thing that it's one of those segments that since you're not looking for it, you don't hear about it.
Right.
Like as an auto executive, but
Well, and I was
if you
pointing like, oh, look at the smart car, look at the Fiat 500. I'm like, you didn't update either of those. And they sold pretty well.
And what they do is they ask when they do these market research things, they ask college students okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're in college, they have not lived in the real world. What they should do, ask people that are in their early 20s and live in the inner city what they want. Or
I would
not
say
early,
like
but
26.
mid 20s, that's what I meant
Because
to
you
say.
might have a job that's actually starting to pay you a little bit now, and you can run your budget
That's
and
to say,
maybe afford something.
Mid 20s lives in the inner city.
Yeah.
Those people are going to tell you what you want. It's going to be something like this usually.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, because this is the thing, is you can rent a van.
Correct.
And you don't need that every day.
I keep telling my parents, I'm like, for the once a year you have to move that pontoon to service, rent a car. Like, you don't need to maintain your GLS 450 3-row crossover for this.
That they just had to replace the axle.
Well,
on.
they're going to need to now. I told them that it needs it. I'm like, you're going to take a trip to Southwest Florida that's 1,780 miles one way. That axle's going to seize.
They are the sort of people that should own an A class. But if
Totally
the A
love
class was better, they should own it. What kind of car
I
would
love
you
seeing
sell to
you
your
get phone
parents?
calls.
So they have Dr. Wags and a Model S. They're totally fine with those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't need to maintain this big dumb truck.
I would say a smaller form factor car would be better. Still a sedan, but the Model S is huge. And
Yeah, Model S is
Larry's gonna
massive.
run it into things because they're old.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think the A class would be a good play. Because I noticed that my parents do much better with smaller cars.
Yeah, as long as it behaves well on the highway and it's got a good range, I don't think they really care what they're driving.
Yeah, and also my mom discovered recently what I've been telling them, where her car has a larger interior space than my dad's CX-3.
Which is fantastic.
Watch that blow their mind too. I'm like,
No, my
Yes.
mom was like, yeah, Jay was having trouble fitting stuff in his big dumb truck, and I'm like,
Yeah, we
yeah,
told you it was a big
I
dump
told
truck.
you it had smaller interior space than the Mazda 2,
Mm-hmm.
but Dad just impulse bought this truck when I was out of town. And she goes, really? I'm like, yeah, no, you should use your car when hauling things because it is like 1 square foot of larger interior space, but it's more easily accessible. She goes, that's exactly what his problem was. Is I'm like, yeah, because it's got this like weird, like
It's a more
asymmetrical trapezoid like opening, and you have a square opening.
Exactly. It's that rake.
Yeah.
That just screws you. It's
Yeah.
like those the GLE Coupe and the X4 and the X6. I'm like, you are getting none of the
Add this to the
benefits.
notes?
Yeah. So like,
I have not added this to the notes. However, we need to talk about GLE coupes for a second.
Okay, sure.
Because have you heard my theory, not really theory, but my firmly held belief of GLE owners is that they are consistently the most egotistical,
we talked about this.
narcissist, jack-off owners.
I also looped in the X4 owners.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
we did briefly talk on this.
But I do specifically say the GLE.
Yeah.
Because
Wasn't that the
In
Good
the-
Karma Service
yes,
Bay guy?
there's that guy.
Yeah.
But in the last 8 days of my life, I have seen 2 separate GLE AMGs.
Oh, God.
One was at Petco,
Okay.
and it
just
was
started-
partially obscuring the accessible parking spot next to it. Like it was enough where it was like technically in its lane. But, like I parked next to him, and I could like do Pilates outside of my car between my car and him. And I saw where he
that
was.
means a wheelchair wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, and it's like it was on the passenger side of it, but it's like, dude, like the guy that's getting that spot's like got a handicap tag. Like
It's Nolan.
he's gonna be like not having an easy time parking, and you're just making it worse.
Right.
And then
And, of course, it's going to be an AMG trim
yeah,
Mercedes.
I told you it's AMG
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
biggest dickhead in the world.
Which is contradictory, I guess, to the X4, which is always the base trim.
yeah, no, this one is like the highest trim level. The more of a dick you are.
The basest trim AMG, though. It's always a GLE
No,
43.
it was a S.
Oh,
It was.
really?
It was a GLE 43S.
Oh, I would have thought it would have been a... Okay.
No, they're
Okay,
all
right.
dickheads.
Oh, yeah.
And the
Hey,
higher
dickhead.
the higher trim level you get, the more of a dick you are. Because
Okay.
you're spending as much money as you would on an actually good car,
Sure.
but now you're doing it on the worst possible vehicle that you could ever have.
Okay.
And so, yesterday, on the way back from Potbelly,
Ooh, I love Potbelly.
Potbelly's really good.
That's really good.
On Snelling, there was a guy with a GLE 43, another GLE 43S, and this one was white, the other one was silver.
Oh,
But
I can't
so
even buy
it's
it in
two
a color.
different. It's 2 different people. This isn't just the same
They
guy.
sold that many of those?
This isn't the same guy going around St. Paul being a dickhead. There's multiple assholes.
Although,
And the dude, he's going down like Snelling in like heavy traffic, going wide open throttle from every stoplight, cutting off school buses, like slamming on his brakes, like riding people's asses, going
tremendous.
going like 55 miles an hour. I'm like, dude, it's Snelling and it's a lunch rush. Like, you don't need to do this. You're gonna be fine. You left your office knowing that this is gonna happen. You're not the only fucking person in the world. Like,
Yeah,
you're caught.
This
in
isn't the
traffic.
first time you've been here at this time.
Yeah, and like, well, the thing is, like, I saw the guy on the highway or on the road. I saw him like roar past me, like this guy drives like a dick. And then like there was some like pedestrians that were like, everybody else gave them right of way, and he just blasts right through the intersection. I'm just like, holy fuck, dude! You have just complete disregard for anybody that's not yourself.
Where's a Polis when you need it the
So
once?
they wouldn't do anything as a GLE owner.
That's
Like
true.
the GLE owners are just the absolute fucking capitalist scum of the universe. I hate them. So.
And
it-
X4.
Yes, no, GLE 43. I will give people the X4s a break compared to them. They're so just the absolute worst.
Okay, so X4s are innocent until proven guilty, but
yeah,
GLE,
no, GLE.
coupes are
If I see
guilty.
you
He
driving,
literally sees one and then starts cussing immediately, and I'm
I
like,
cut people. I will go out of my way to cut people off if I see that they're driving a GLE. I will drive like a dickhead because they deserve it. I have yet to be proven otherwise.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and once
That's fair.
is because like I'm sure that there's somebody in the world that, like as you said, the
One
lower the
person.
trim, the
Yeah.
lower the trim level with it
Yeah.
with X4, the worse they are.
Yes.
GLE owners, they're all worse, and they're consistently worse.
Well, I
The
wonder
more
in like
money they
Europe.
spend.
Actually, no, because they probably don't even sell the GLE coupe in Europe because
Probably
it's the
not.
dumbest form factor
It's
that
so
only
fucking
Americans
stupid.
want.
I hate it so fucking much.
Anyway, let's go to a more positive topic.
Okay, let's talk about Jana's Lightning McQueen
Oh,
Crocs
hold
that
Okay,
she's wearing.
so light up shoes, we can agree, are the best invention pretty much ever to come out of footwear.
Yes, so Jana's got these awesome light up Crocs that aren't lighting up right now because
they are. I'm just not touching the bottom because they're real dirty.
Okay, well,
currently they're selling on StockX for $231.
so hype beasts have
Yeah,
found out the
absolute
Lightning
hype beast.
McQueen.
So if you're a hype beast in Thailand, you can now get a Lightning McQueen car to go with your Lightning McQueen Crocs, and they base them off of Celicas.
I was gonna say, what headlights are those?
This is a Celica, apparently.
Okay. So
And-
Oh,
It-
I don't like. Okay, so if you look at the not Lightning McQueen's face, but the car's face with the headlights,
Yeah.
it looks like the Kerchoo meme, and I hate it. The rest of it's fine, but if you just focus on the front bumper, it's awful.
However, the thing is, you can now, like, if you wanted to be ultimate hypebeast, honey,
I
you
can
get yourself a
get a
Celica.
Celica.
And they don't just do Lightning McQueen.
No, they do the Dynacoat. That is
Yep.
Lightning McQueen, but when
But
he
you can
changed his
yes,
colors.
that is true. You could do that. Ooh, that'd
it's
be really
in
cool.
it's in from Cars 3.
Yes, you
when
could
he
do the
gets-
Dynacode. Oh my god, that'd be great. But as I say, you could also probably get like other cars from there.
Oh,
so that'd be
yeah.
great. I wanted, if I was gonna get a car based off the Cars universe,
Cruise.
no, I would actually the dude. It's the Buick Regal looking G body car. It's
I haven't
based off
seen Cars.
the Buick Regal from Cars. It's based
Oh,
off of Rusty
he runs
Wallace's
the
car.
he runs the paint shop.
No,
No,
it's
no,
it's one of the
the
NASCARs.
announcers.
Yeah, one of the announcers. Yeah. The it's based off
announcer.
of Rusty Wallace's race NASCAR.
Those are words. Can confirm.
You should really watch Cars 3.
I've been told that I should watch it, but
Oh, it's this one. It's the green one. It's not the Rusty Wallace car. God, what is his name? Dick Trickle. That is a real NASCAR driver, though.
we have a wild Nolan peanut gallery shouting out Dick Trickle.
But if you just look up Buick Regal NASCAR Cars movie,
That is a lot of words. Can you distill it?
Chick Hicks is the name.
She kicks.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Kerchow?
Yeah, that's him. That's the one I would want.
Ka-chicka.
I want Chick Hicks.
Chick Hicks.
That's my favorite car.
I need to open
It's
this
so
first.
cool.
I like
Copy.
It is a
image.
Dick Trickle car.
Oh, copy image link.
purple. Bravo.
I always buy the color that I think is going to sell the worst. Okay, there is the.
That's the one I would want.
God damn.
Ah, it's so rad.
Ow.
I mean, like Radwoodish, but yeah.
Yeah, I love them.
You would win an award at Radwood with that for sure.
Absolutely, I would.
Did you talk about the Barth Fiat, the Alpha 4C?
No, we're not. We will talk about that next
Okay.
episode. Don't you worry.
Sorry.
No. It is a
teaser.
it's a teaser for listening next week.
Yeah, it gives them a little appetizer
Maybe
to,
I should just
to
like,
wet their beak.
Maybe we should just remove that from the notes now, so like somebody just like is hyped to watch this like Fiat Bar thing.
It's
I'm always hyped to watch Fiat Barth things.
Anyway,
it's legit.
Like, don't bump the cord, you imbecile.
Right here?
That's
Oh.
very loud.
so let's move on.
All right. Let me change to this scene so people don't have to just be blasted in the eyeballs with the
And
notes.
Eric, you really need to watch Cars. Like it's a rite of passage at this point.
It's
like
not
being
available on
like,
Laserdisc, so I don't get to it.
It's
Okay.
literally on Disney Plus.
This is. I don't even need a link for this one. All right, so the Volkswagen Id4 Saga. I'm gonna wait to really cover the
Yes.
rest of that until the car has officially been lemoned and Scott's here to tell us about it. But he bought a replacement vehicle.
He's on his third EV daily driver. That doesn't work.
No, the new one's working just fine so far, and it's a used JLR product. So far, it's working great.
Yeah.
Did I mention it's a
I
launch
love
edition car?
I love Jaguar so much. They're very great.
The-
and there's
talking
many
about what it
things.
is?
There's many things that Jaguar is.
Jaguar R.
There's many things
it a
that
steel
Jaguar
company?
is. Yes. There's many things that it is, and none of them are reliable.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But like most of the EV one, you
Even
see.
when I say a Jaguar
Also,
is
we're mentioning
reliable,
it's an EV.
yeah,
Oh, it's an I-Pace,
Oh.
or
It's
also known
Ipache.
as an Ipache.
it's an Ipache.
Ipache. It is this color. That's not the exact car, but that's the exact spec. So
I
it's a
appre-
bright orange 2019 Ipache.
I
It's
appreciate
reddish.
that in Forza.
It is reddish,
gorgeous.
yeah.
In Forza, you
It's such a
can get-
good-looking vehicle.
In Forza Horizon 5, you can get both the Ipache and the Fapache
Ipache.
as well, which is one of my favorite things because
What about the Apache? Because they have an E-Pace as well. Like a letter E pace.
sorry, that's the one I meant. So
Not I-Pace?
It's the which one's the
Well,
electric?
Well,
one?
I-Pace, but we call it an Ipache.
Yeah, Ipache, and then what's the?
There's an I, E, and F pace.
What's the E?
I don't know. But it's what this is loosely based on.
That's the one that you can get
Jaguar
in the game, and you can get the
E-Pace.
gasser as well.
So here's an E-Pace. And
What
that-
is so special? What's the E-Pace? Is it hybrid?
I don't know.
It must be hybrid.
Junk.
But anyway, you can get the Fapache,
So
which
here's
is
the world's tiniest photo of an E-Pace.
anyway. Yeah, so you can get the Fapache, which is like actually really good for off-road racing in the game, apparently. So like, it just kicks ass at cross country, and then you
F-Pache?
can get the E-Pache. which is impossible to drive because you can't tell how fast you're going because it's a video game, and you have no noises.
Sensation of speed. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All you have is tire squeal, and then your tire squeal happens when you've lost traction.
Yeah.
So you go into a corner.
There's no progressive breakaway.
Entirely too fast.
Yeah. It's fine.
And then you end up just going straight for the
it's
rest
fine.
of your life. Just forever.
It's like playing Assetto Corsa with a mod car. You just fly through the ground, and then you're
There
done.
is an Assetto Corsa mod to have a swivel chair.
Don't tell me that.
No.
Because that's all I play on my Sunday.
I saw a TikTok of a man playing it, and it was a race car driver on a swivel chair going faster than an NSX around the Nürburgring.
I kind of want that mod now.
Yeah, I know, right? You get
I'm-
that versus your rocket bus and have a fucking
The
party.
drift bus is so much fun.
Or my favorite, which is just a normal Peugeot 504.
That was good too.
It's just a normal car. I get it automatic even, so I have fully normal car mode on.
One of my favorite cars to drive, just when I'm sitting down to play that game, is a Mercedes-Benz 6.3, like the old 6.3, the 280 SE.
Yeah, it's a good car.
It's just good.
Yeah,
It's just good.
I like playing like beanie drives, and then I just take the Crown Vic, and I just drive it.
Just go for a drive.
Go for a drive. That's what I do. I just drive my Crown Vic.
Anyway, so Scott found this in Las Vegas, and he drove it all the way back to Minnesota over the course of 3 days.
This is good.
The main reason I want to bring this up is it's fine so far. We'll bring up any issues it has, but it was really cold, so the heat pump was actually useful, and oh boy, does the charging infrastructure network need work. So they are spread just fine. There's always one within range of where you need to go next, but the amount of time, like half to 3/4 of the actual units were broken, or there was somebody just EV holing it plugged in with a car that was full or near full that didn't really need the charge, apparently was pretty common. So that's what turned the 2-day trip into a 3-day trip.
Oh,
Wow.
yikes.
That's cursed.
That and driving through the mountains in the dark. He's like, yeah, that wasn't great. But no, this thing, I'm excited to trade vehicles with him for a day or something just to give this a proper shakedown. But
I'm excited. We should take that out for getting pierogies or something.
we should. But he's going to order lowering links for it in the spring because they're like lifted wagons. I mean, they're
Yeah, that'd look
beautiful.
really good lowered.
That's the plan. So
I'm not mad about those. Like, that's a good Jaguar.
So he was between the
So
Ioniq
happy
5
he owns a Jaguar now.
and this, and originally I was like, yeah, get the Ioniq 5, that's good.
I feel like
Then the tax credit went away. I'm like, no, don't do that. The the Ipache is like 10 grand cheaper, and it's a better car, probably.
yeah. Well, also it's a Jaguar, so it's
also
more
so
interesting.
pretty.
It's so
he
unique.
got that color.
Yeah, it looks just like
I hope
this.
that this like spawns a whole Jaguar moment for Scott, and then he just starts like jagging it
He
up.
did send me a link to an XF Sport Brake this week.
Very good. Yes, he's gonna start jagging it up.
No, because he needs manual.
No,
But
he needs
Yeah,
Jag.
he
Jag.
needs an
It's
F-Type.
He needs Jag.
FT pay?
An FT-Pay with a 6-cylinder built into the block of an 8-cylinder.
Yeah, but at least with the 6-cylinder you can get the manual still.
Well,
so that's good.
I didn't know
But-
they made them any other way.
Well, they did, and for the first 2 years you couldn't get a manual at all until our goddamn country finally is like, we're not buying your shit anymore until you give us a stick. And Jag's like, fine, take it.
So
Or
to end the
get an
episode-
XJR 100, which has Brembo brakes and BBS wheels,
And no manual.
yeah.
but has a wool carpet.
And Lucas Electrics.
No,
it's
those
a
are
Ford.
Bosch era.
Ford era. It's good.
Motorcraft.
Yeah, only problem is timing chains.
So anyway-
Fine.
I want to get him a license plate for him
I
that
have
says
some
Lucas.
news to end that episode
do it.
on. I'm going to be inheriting my grandpa's Lexus finally.
What variety of Lexus is it?
I
What-
got a
what
vanity
kind
plate.
of
It's
Lex-
a
The
ES
tank?
of sorts.
Oh,
What
a
year?
Camry.
The ESs are still better than
2000.
Camrys.
I'm not saying
Actually,
they're
it's
not-
called a
8-ish.
Camry Vista.
Oh, 8-ish?
I'm saying they're not
Oh, nice.
better,
That's
I'm
a
just-
that is a
it's
2GR in
Camry.
it.
Yes, it's actually a very good vehicle.
ES350s are
It's
good.
beige. It's great. It's definitely
Jewish
a grandpa
racing gold,
car.
please.
I got a vanity plate for Scott. Darkness, the Prince of Darkness, Lucas Electrical.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I
But
will say
anywho-
this does not have the factory option giant cat decal on the side. I kind of want to buy him that for.
Yep.
Oh,
Nope.
the leaper?
He needs that. It needs a
leaper.
leaper hood ornament. too.
No, it doesn't need that. But
The
like these, a
leaper
lot of these came with the
This
leaper graphic on the
this
side.
needs- yeah, it needs a body side leaper.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be legit.
Maybe I'll talk to Tint Pros. Be like,
So
well,
Lexus, what year is it?
08-ish.
all you need
I
to
was
know,
in high school.
it's a 2GR. It's not the melty one. It's the much more chiseled looking
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
send pictures.
Nice.
You finally
But I
ditching the
will-
Sienna then?
I will probably have
Okay.
to give away my Sienna.
We're
But
we're hoping not to.
I'm hoping I don't have to get rid of Bandit, but
Well, you're gonna have to get rid of something. You guys
No.
must be out of space.
Yes, it'd be the Cressida.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
No, not really.
Fine.
The Cressida's greatly appreciated since I bought it. I bought it for $1,000. The last install on Branch Roller for $8, and almost the exact same condition as mine.
Well, it is in nice condition.
Yes. So I was thinking about getting rid of the Cressida because it's more of a fucking liability than anything. I don't want to use it ever.
Fine. I haven't seen it in the light of
I
day.
know. I had
for-
to. I had to. When I put the transmission back in, the torque converter kinked itself over before I had it tightened up, and then
I remember that there
Yeah.
were some issues there. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, and I've just been
So-
lazy. I've been very lazy.
You
about
lose
getting-
motivation when
Yeah.
a project kicks you in the ass that hard.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
like
when the
Blubsky.
prospects of potentially getting the Lexus came up, we were like, I told Ryan, I was like, I kind of want garage space for it. So years ago, we were like, if I get the Lexus, then the Cressida's going to go.
They serve the same purpose too.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just large
One
Toyota
is
sedan.
just way faster.
Yeah.
Have fun with 300 horsepower. You're gonna kill yourself.
It's got the...
Jana's
They're
car-
they're
all-
fast.
It's
all
my
of
car,
Jana's
he's not
cars
allowed to
are
drive it.
very fast.
We'll see how that works. Yeah.
Every one of actually once she gets this, every one of Jana's cars will have over 300 horsepower.
They're
They're going to be all...
2GR Toyotas
Wow.
are no
Yeah,
joke.
Jana has no slow cars. She's got her Buick and she's got this, and they're both really fucking
Yeah.
I don't
fast.
think I own a car over 300. Jeez.
I've never owned a car over 200.
It took me a long time to own a car over 250 horsepower.
But no, everything Jana owns is very fast. And
Mm-hmm.
the Buick is just a bananas.
So
Like,
is
it does-
the
it-
Sienna, surprisingly.
The Buick's
Still
got like a
V6.
posi in it and everything. Like,
Wow.
the day that the torque flight, the Dynaflow transmission takes a shit, it's getting a 3-speed in it,
Well,
and
that's-
it's going to be problematically fast.
It's so funny too because I don't drive slow, but I don't drive fast. I drive a reasonable speed, so none of my cars go over 100 when I'm driving it.
That's
But they
what
get
my
up
attorney
they get up
advises
to
me to do.
speed in a reasonable time.
There's
frame.
quick and there's fast.
Yeah.
She
quick
does, She
cars.
drives quickly.
They're quick
Yes.
cars.
You
And
spend-
there might be fast cars too, but that's
They
irrelevant
happen to be
this.
both. Yes. And they're all sedans as well, which is really
Which
fun.
I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean, if this is the thing, if I'm gonna get a car that's like sporty, I'm gonna probably go for a sedan. If I'm gonna get a car that's not sporty, I'm probably gonna go for a coupe.
No, you go for a wagon or a van.
This is my thing. Like, if it's gonna be like an Accord, I'm gonna get an Accord coupe over a normal sedan Accord. If it's like something like an ES, I would get that over like a Solara. Or if it's a Mercedes like 124, I'm gonna get a 124 sedan versus a coupe.
You always buy the sedan.
Exactly.
It's
So,
just going to end up being a better car.
usually, but there's some cars where the form factor does it a lot. Accord coupes really fuck hard. So
Accord Coupe is like my favorite vehicle.
And I'm,
it's a completely different beast.
I love that for you.
Also,
Yeah.
Camry coupe. I would take a Camry coupe over a normal Camry because the Camry coupe is a stiffer
It's
chassis.
super rare. I just don't like it.
I know that you have
Yeah.
a thing against coupes, but
I
the
do.
Camry
He
coupe,
does.
the Camry
I own a
coupe,
lot of them. Don't
literally
like
it was a homologation vehicle.
No, I understand. Like the '94
It's got a much
Camry
stiffer.
Coupe is
It's got
like
a much stiffer chassis.
it's a really interesting vehicle. I haven't seen one forever.
After nannying, coupes are like
Yeah,
great.
for kids, coupes
Yeah.
are actually it's a noticeable
Until they get
difference.
to a toddler
My
and
ex
then they get
hated
too
coupes
heavy.
for nannying. She's like, I need a 4-door.
No, because the if you have a coupe, you especially like with Janet like having anxiety, she doesn't have to worry when she's driving to make sure she turns on the child lock.
When they're in.
If
they're
you have
in.
a back that's in
Exactly.
good condition, I could see that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
once
that's the thing,
once
yeah.
they reach like 45 pounds,
Which they
then-
will.
Yeah. Then
But
no.
yeah, well, there's also
and
the
they can't get in by
yeah,
themselves.
but or like with your brother,
Yeah.
where your
Well,
brother
In America, that's like a 13-month-old.
yeah. So yeah, coupes have their place, but yeah, no, for actually fast cars, I'll take a sedan because Camry flash.
Oh yeah, a beige ES. You could do the cannonball in that
Oh,
thing. You'd never
I'm-
get pulled over.
I'm excited to have the Lexus because it's one I've wanted it forever.
Just don't put a garden hose in the engine.
I won't.
Okay, great.
I've already
had to
promised
bring that
the
one
Jiffy
back.
Lube
Yeah, yeah,
tech
yeah.
that I wouldn't. So
Have you guys seen that meme photo going around where the picture's worth 1,000 words and it's a Google Maps satellite view of a Jiffy Lube and it's got on the exit there's a huge line of oil and then it goes right to the front and then parks into a space and then it stops. There's just
Love
like a
it.
huge black line of
Oh,
oil right at the
no.
end of a Jiffy Lube. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you see my photo I uploaded to the community last
Yes.
week of the real life meme that I got to see?
It's pronounced Meme?
We were at this
Those are
like
Maymay's kids?
No.
we
Shut
were
up, Nolan.
at this
Sorry, 90s reference. Boomer. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not.
like this,
from
like-
the 90s.
one like this
Best
like
place to
one
be from.
we're at this like $1 car wash in West St. Paul,
Oh yes.
and
This was.
I got to see this dude literally.
Oh yeah, the interior.
Dude was hosing his interior off with soap and water,
sir.
and I stopped. I'm like,
Ryan
dude,
went
I'm like,
up to
dude,
him.
you really don't want to do that. He goes, why? I'm like, because it causes electrical problems. He goes, I've done this before, and I'm like,
Cool, gotta go.
oh boy. He goes, what? It's fine. I'm like, no, it's not. You're going
Dry
to
cleaning only. on
You
the
will
inside.
be having electrical problems. Like I explained to him how electrical circuits work, and like you're shorting everything out back here.
And he was
Like-
like, magnets, how do they
He
work?
kept doing
Yeah,
it.
there's some like
No.
yeah.
Luckily, it was a
And
Santa
then
Fe.
there was a.
This Veracruz is a
Oh,
larger Santa Fe.
Yeah, and then there's this woman who was running around yelling at everyone, trying to find an employee at a self-service car wash.
I wish her the best of luck.
And then she stole somebody's money out of the machine after he used the like change machine. She stole the change and then drove away.
A wild Karen appears.
It
and then
was,
vanishes
it was
just as
more than
quickly
that.
as
It
she
was
arrived.
wild.
Yeah, no, and then she was like,
Yikes.
I was like waiting like for a really long time for this car wash.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like pulls in next to me, and like the guy that was washing the inside of his car decided he was done. I asked her like, "Hey, can I just pull over there? I've been like waiting for like 10 minutes." And she's like, "I've got diabetes," and I'm like, "Never mind."
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So,
I
It was
don't.
like you could have said no.
thoughts on my request?
Never mind, lady. I don't care.
You should have just said "Call Liberty" and walked away.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
Oh my
the
god.
most bizarre experience ever.
I picture
Everybody
this
was-
person in my
Like,
mind's eye.
Everybody was just absolutely feral there.
we didn't realize it was half price Tuesday.
Spicy.
Like my car just needed to get cleaned because birds decided to poop on it, and we didn't realize it was
Damn
half price
birds.
Tuesday.
It was like there's the amount of bird poop on our windshield. It was obscuring your view.
Oh my god.
So like it needed to get washed. It was like after using all of our washer sprayer, so like it literally needed to be cleaned. But anyway, on that bird poop will end the episode. So thanks for listening.
Next
Bye.
week, bye.